Hello, everyone, and welcome to Teach Time in the Afternoon, where I, Miss Adventure in the Classroom, walk you through my ripe critical knowledge building system. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. We're almost through the end of the year. We're so close, so close. Keep powering on. Here is something that can help you maybe make these last few days of the school year easier on your teacher spirit who is tired of testing and all of the end of the year bureaucracy and data collection. Oh my God, it never stops. Not to mention your observations and the grading and finals. Goodness, why not make some space for what really matters, what education is all about? Because in all that stuff, boy, it'd be nice to have a little breathing room for things that really matter. We get pretty bogged down in that to-do list of all the stuff we have to do as educators and the students have to do. That's just bureaucratic and not what learning and knowledge building is all about. So the RIPE system, RIPE, is here to help bring more of those things that matter most back into your time that you do have with your students when you're teaching your academic subjects. These are learning touchstones, which I like to call anti-standards, because when you touch on them in your class, they could take you in so many different ways. It's not like a standard where what you're doing is what everybody's going to be doing. We're standardizing. No, this is about where's your class going to take this idea, because these ideas hit on these major themes of what learning has always been about. The critical tradition, which is aligned with critical thinking skills, so it's got to be good. It has been studying these great themes of what education is all about, and it has come down from my interpretation of it. I have organized these themes of learning into 4 main groups so that students can interact with knowledge in 4 different ways. And meaning, bringing meaning and things that matter. What does that mean? Well, learning has always been about the question why. Always, always. That is the question that pulls at us very deeply as intelligent species. So that question why, I have offered 4 verbs that you can engage in your classroom to help students try and answer their why. Maybe they can find meaning with this lesson through this particular avenue. Maybe it's through revering, like, oh, okay, I can see a way that I can connect with knowledge and make me want to learn it, make me be like, okay, I've fueled my own why. And now I can really spend time studying it because now I care about it. Now I've developed a new relationship with it. Maybe through reverence, maybe through revering knowledge, maybe through problematizing, like, ooh, you know what? I see some gaps in this knowledge, or how this knowledge is taught, or how it's being presented, or there are missing voices. Man, that's gonna fire them up to understand this knowledge and all it has to offer in a new way. They're gonna get to know it really well if they want to problematize it well, if they find meaning in enhancing it, which we're talking about today. So I'll stop talking about the RIPE system, but y'all, check it out. It's only $15 for just the RIPE system alone, which has over 425 touchstones and, oh my goodness, access to a collective curriculum where teachers like you are going to be constructing ideas of how to bring about these concepts in meaningful ways to their classroom. So it's only $15, so you can get it like that, just that for $15, fair enough. Or you can sign up on my Patreon account for a teacher trust level, which is $15. Get the RIPE system for that price, plus all access to my Learning League adventures for the month. Whatever Learning League adventures are up, I'm still making them, but you can see my Patreon. You can see the list of all the ones that have completed. Hopefully more now than when I recorded this video, definitely. So you'll get the RIPE Critical Knowledge Building System plus all the Learning League adventures for the month, plus my Knowledge of the People pack. I'm sorry, Knowledge for the People, but it's of the people, by the people, for the people. But you'll get these fun printables and more. There are so many awesome printables you get for becoming a Patreon member. These you can get for as low as $1.50. Anybody who signs up to be a Patreon member gets this access. This knowledge may shape your life. Your life may shape this knowledge. Here's that enhancing piece. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today because it's Friday and nothing enhances your week like a Friday. Am I right? May your life shape this Friday. There's a good benediction for you. Okay, but before I send you on your way, dear teachers, on this lovely weekend, I am going to pull a card. Oh no, where's my, there it is. On the ground, of course. And my nice squeaky chair. Oh, of course. No, it won't squeak. That's pretty squeaky. Yeah, there's the squeak. There's the squeak. Okay. All right, so I'm just like any kid in class who gets distracted by their squeaky chair. Goodness. Okay, so I'm going to pull an enhancement card. Let's learn some philosophy behind what it means to enhance. So that way, the more we understand the reasons why we should enhance, the more we'll be able to find out ways to actually manifest real life strategies to bring to our classroom. Like if you hadn't considered this element of enhancement before, you might be like, oh my gosh, now that I have that idea, I can use my confluence, which is the connection of things. Two things connecting together is confluence. So everybody has unique confluence skills, right? Your perspective, your cultural background, your historical moment helps determine your confluence and where and how you draw connections, right? But you're the only one who does it the way you do it. So when I offer you a new piece of philosophy that shows you a different side of enhancement, perhaps by taking a critical look, which means intentional, we're going to be looking at all sides to the best of our ability. By hearing something that you've never heard before, you might have confluence, connect it to something else and be like, oh my gosh, I've got a strategy to actually use this. Like this philosophy, I'm not just saying philosophy to be spouting philosophy. That's not what I'm doing here. I am trying to help you engage real life strategies on how to enhance in your classroom with your knowledge builders. So with that in mind, there was one more path I was going to go down with what I just said, but I can leave it at that. I'm fine leaving it at that. Okay, so enhancing. Let's go ahead and pull some philosophy, knowledge of the people, by the people, for the people. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, boom, baby. Okay, we have done. This is the second time we've done Pierre, and I was hoping I had gotten away with saying his name for a while, but here we go. I was able to do it last time. I think it is pronounced the way it looks, Sarah. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Close enough. That was the only time I'm going to say it. Pierre. I will refer to him from now on. Okay, so he's got some ideas on how to enhance. There, I found my path again, y'all. I found my path. Okay, here's what I was going to say. Hopefully, this idea helps spark real life strategies for you to bring to your classroom. And if you have those in the link, I am going to put in the description, I'm going to put a link to my knowledge gardens. so you can contribute. So that's what my teacher trust is also about, is helping us sharing these ideas together. I kind of want my teacher trust site, it's a forum. So I want it to be like critical educator Reddit. You know what I mean? Come on. That's what I'm talking about. We can come and share these ideas like, oh my gosh, this idea that we talked about during teach time today, I've got an idea. Does anyone have ways to direct me on how I could take this up? That kind of stuff. So in the link, I'll put my link to the teacher trust, but also knowledge gardens are these touchstones each have a knowledge garden. I won't take that one down off the wall. I'll use this one. There is, there we go. Okay. Each learning touchstone has a knowledge garden on the back. So when I'm talking about enhance, when I'm talking about this, there's touchstones that fall underneath enhance. Okay. So this is a philosophy that you can use with these touchstones. And so let's say this idea gives you a solution on how to implement enhance one, or learning a lesson that can become even more powerful in your classroom. You can go, this is a public pedagogy, so this link's for everybody. You can submit a Google form under your subject, like I teach science. I've got a great way to take this idea, implement it, present it to my kids through this touchstone with my unique strategy. Okay. So, the knowledge gardens, I'll put a link in the description to my knowledge garden map. Sarah, there you go. All right. We're going to put the link to the knowledge garden map. That way you'll have access no matter who you are. This is a public pedagogy. So I'm new to this whole mediation thing, obviously. I'm just now announcing these things to the world. So I have no skills yet on how to maintain such a public resource like this, but I'm going to do my best and adjust things accordingly. I'm going to be enhancing my strategy as I go along. But I do want anyone to contribute knowledge. I want this curriculum to be knowledge of the people, by the people, for the people. So I want it to be an open project where I am sourcing from anyone interested in these videos, not just educators. So if you have ideas, awesome. Knowledge gardens, check it out. You might have a great place. Submit a Google form and we'll take it from there. I'll get your email on my Adventure Journal newsletter. Again, I'm working out all the details, but help this project grow. That is for sure. That will stay true. The method might change, but that's the heart of what I'm doing, is enhancing on these ideas. These ideas alone are no good. I've made something and I'm excited about them, but they don't mean squat diddly until y'all start using them, until the people start using them. Knowledge of y'all, by y'all, for y'all. Am I right, y'all? That's what I'm talking about. So that's what this project is all about, enhancing on my ideas, which aren't even my ideas. I have tried to materialize ideas from the critical tradition of education, and I need your help to enhance them and make them even better. I've done what I can. How far can you take them? Let's keep carrying them on further. That's what enhancement's all about. So, okay, enough about that. Thanks for listening, all you people out there. Okay, so enhance. Let's read this. Thank you, Pierre, for being so patient with me. Evolution is a light illuminating all facts, a curve that all lines must follow. Evolution is a light illuminating all facts, a curve that all lines must follow. Okay, I really love this because it's such a great way. Again, I spoke this morning when I was doing my Colors of Critical Empowerment session about how these 5 elements These 5 elements of critical thinking skills and your critical capacities kind of are in this nice order. I've put them in an order that really works, and I'm excited to see how it flows. Like, I'm also open to moving it, but I think there's a puzzle there to be solved about which touch each other the most and who influences what. And anyway, I like this setup too. I think there's interesting connections to be made, like visually. And I do like this idea of right being a cycle that doesn't end. So that's a big part of enhancement, obviously. If I want the right system itself to embody enhancement, then enhancement is not where the process ends. Enhancement then is just the beginning of cycling through again. Okay, once we enhance, we do the same thing. We look at what's good in our enhancement. We imagine what else could be different. We problematize what is, look for weakness, and we enhance upon our enhancement. Oh boy. And then we go through it again, right? Over and over. This is the trajectory, the metaphysics, if you will. This is how these ideas kind of work their way through the physical trajectory of those things. Metaphysical. Okay. So I like this. As I was saying, it's not the ending. Enhance! Exclamation point. Full stop. No. We keep going. And so I like this because it presents, Pierre here has presented enhancement in, slow down, huh? Can do. Enhancement itself is something to be revered, okay? Because it can be a pain. Like, yeah, you might have just gotten pretty exhausted by the fact that I just did that, right? This means everything we do is a Sisyphean task. It means we're pushing a boulder up the hill and it's going to roll back down and we start back over. And we push it back up and it goes back over. This is something that women's work historically, women can relate to the Sisyphean task, right? That's houseworks and maintaining community requires Sisyphean tasks. And we can get pretty depressed by Sisyphean tasks. It can be, and let me say, if there are Sisyphean tasks from which we can liberate ourselves, like housework, like duties like that sometimes there are those parts of life. Of course, those were subjugated. They were said to us, right? We got to deal with those. As subjugated peoples and people of color, we had to deal with more of those like ones that better people who had better things to do than push rocks up hills. Those better minds, better quality of people, they got to do more meaningful stuff. Y'all can do the less meaningful stuff. Right. So there are some Sisyphean tasks that we should liberate ourselves from. Fine. That's another topic for another day. And that includes housework. I'm just saying, ladies know, okay? Ladies know what Sisyphean really means, okay? Talk to a woman if you want to know what a Sisyphean task is, okay? That's all I'm saying. But with the Sisyphean task, we also need to understand that, okay, yes, we should liberate ourselves from as many of those meaningless ones as possible, but there is an element of meaninglessness to life anyway. Like every day, you're going to have to get up. You're going to have to go to the bathroom. You're going to have to open your eyes. You're going to have to put food in your system. You're going to have to nourish yourself. And there are things about life that are checking the box. It's about minimizing those, right, to the best of our ability so that things aren't meaningless. We should find meaning in those things. Meaning in having a good bathroom, right? Isn't that what old people say? Young people, shouldn't we be taking advantage every time we use the restroom and it is like nice and not a big pain in the butt? Haha. I think we should be grateful, That's what If I'm listening to my elders, that is something I'm hearing. So enjoy the next time you're on the pot. Take a second and be like, all right, it's nice when things work the way they should, huh? You're going to live, you're going to enjoy life a little more if you find meaning in the Sisyphean, right? Instead of just shoving food mindlessly in our mouths, maybe like other cultures, we should sit down, make meals, a whole thing, right? How do we humanize these Sisyphean tasks, right? And that's what he's doing here. Sometimes the way to humanize something is through reverence, okay? Not always. Sometimes the way to humanize something is to problematize it, okay? But Pierre is showing us here a great example of how enhancement feels like a Sisyphean task. Like, oh, great. Why bother making anything better when someone else is just going to make it better anyway? Like, this just, why even bother? Why should I care? Why should I care? It's meaningless to make things better. And no, it's not. That would be an uncritical problematization. I would say you're not using all of your critical capacities. You're not thinking about what really matters, right? What's essential, what's consequential, what is human life anyway? Like, yeah, that's kind of the whole thing, you guys. You're going to do awesome and amazing things, and people are going to build. Other people, I know it's hard to believe, other people are going to do awesome, amazing things too, just like you. Because, yes, I'm talking to all y'all out there. So, we're all capable of doing awesome and amazing things. And don't we want other people doing awesome and amazing things? So, of course, they're going to build off your awesome and amazing things. And you should revere that, not say this is meaningless. And maybe, oh, how about this? Oh, here we go. If it is so meaningless, if it does feel as if people are just getting lost in this whole historical thing, and like we don't even recognize people's achievements of everyday people like you and I aren't celebrities, man. Most of us aren't going to be celebrities. Maybe we should abolish this whole celebrity culture. Maybe we should find ways. How do we keep the achievements of everyday people alive? How do we get the next generation to care about us and our stories? Maybe we should start caring about and finding ways right now to celebrate our ancestors and create connections with our young people today, with ancestors. So, in self-preservation, in my own humanizing self-interest, I can use that to humanize others too, others from the past whose stories haven't been told, right? That's what enhancing is all about. How do we figure out ways to not feel as if what we're doing is meaningless? Okay, that's part of what we're doing. So, the fact that you would find enhancement meaningless is a problem. I have just problematized that. Okay. And by problematizing it, I have imagined new ways to look at it. And I've said, oh my gosh, the issue is right now we don't see that historical stair stepping as a good thing. Right now, we see that historical stair stepping as, oh, they're lower than us. Our historical ancestors that we stood on, we must not remember them because they're not as good as us, which implies that kind of mindset implies that you don't matter because someone else will be better than you someday. So I guess just squeeze all the fun out of life for your own self and your own self-interest because it's not going to matter anyway. You're just going to get squashed in the sands of time below people who come after you. They'll be better. Y'all, that's a horrible way to treat our historical work. We should be doing historical work because our ancestors did historical work that we need to recognize, and we see the value in what they did. That gives our work today more value because I know I will be an ancestor someday, and I want to help them on their way. What are we doing if not that, right? That is what is at the heart of enhancement. That is at the heart of it. And so Pierre reminds us of that by revering the fact that evolution is illuminating all facts, he says. But I'd say the horizon of the human experience is lit by the fact that we are evolving. Thank goodness. Am I right? Thank goodness we're better when we're critical and we work on with intentionality on what really matters, when we think about the consequences, when we are truly independent and authentic in our thought, even when it's divergent, and when we're empowered, we are and take action in the world. That is critical. That is critical action. And when we do those things and we think about what really matters, it comes down to the logic of being human and humanizing ourselves and others at the same time, uplifting both, right? And so that's when we uplift ourselves and others, we will evolve. We'll get better. We'll get better when we're critical. So there's hope, okay? Being critical is not just about critiquing. Yes, you might have noticed when I mentioned independence over there, I said being divergent, authentic thought. That is critique. But critique is all wrapped up in a whole thing of hope right here. We got a whole bundle, okay? Critique is a huge part of it because speech is action. If there are ears that hear me and it resonates, hopefully what I say will spur other action. So it's a material force. This is my voice right now exists in the material sphere, not in my abstract. I can say stuff in my head. Y'all don't know what I'm saying in my head. You don't know. It's not spoken. So it's not a material force. It's an abstract force. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm having a good time. But materially, now my speech is a material force and it can do things out here. So yes, critique's huge, but critique, this is also a divergent view. Do you hear anyone else talking like I'm talking right now? I'm not hearing enough of critique and hope. Not because we're incapable of doing so, but it's because we don't know how to be critical because we just weren't taught it. That's all. That's all. So the more we learn about these skills and these skills, the more we will enhance our lives with our critical capacities. And follow this curve that all lines in the human experience follow, including knowledge. Knowledge is evolving to better suit reality and the conditions that we use them for. So we're trying to get them to align in the real world with as much accuracy as possible, but also accuracy to do what, right? If I want my hammer to, I bet you, the other day I was talking about tools in a toolkit, and hammer is a classic, right? Don't make me list all the tools I know. Stick it with hammer. I can think of two things off the top of my pretty little head that hammers can do. They can nail and they can pull out nails, right? Wrench them out. Okay. My point being, depending on, I bet you there are the hammers. If we Googled hammers, there are rankings. I know there's some BuzzFeed-like list about hammers. I know there is. And some are really good at that whole nail thing. Does anyone have like a laser? Are there like laser hammers or like magnet hammers now? Okay. See how we enhance. I don't know anything about this. And even I, using my imagination, can come up with things to enhance hammers. Those are two good ideas that I'm sure someone else has had before and maybe are already real. Okay. So your hammer is going to look different if you want to do some of that high-tech enhancement kind of stuff. Innovation, y'all. Who's against innovation? Not critical thinkers, not critical theorists. I tell you what, we love innovation. Maybe not in every single human institution that innovation has been part of. No. No. Innovation has been part of many evil things too. It can be captured by sticky fingers, by unsavory people with unsavory ideas. Innovation. Okay, that's enough. Boy, it's a Friday. Am I right? Yeah, I think that's it. It's talking about knowledge evolves, etc. Okay, I'm tired now. So sounds good. Thanks for joining me for this. I hope we've enhanced your understanding of enhancement. Talking through it has enhanced my ability to clarify it better next time. But I think we hit on some major points there. Cool. So don't forget, this week, I have been promoting my first critical lesson planning session, which I spun little wheels and I spun science as my subject. Eventually I'll be spinning what ripe letter I'm going to do, but for now I'm going to just work my way through them so that you can start the school year in the fall with all of the major themes will have their own lesson ready for you to check out and see ideas of how I implemented these critical concepts. Okay, so as I said, I spun some wheels and I spun science and middle school. So I am going to be making a critical journaling video, which will be available to everyone. You'll get to see all my notes. I'm going to use some fun stickers and markers. It's going to be a fun little video, Instagram, that stuff that I'm so good at. Yeah, I'll make one of those. And then I'm going to be talking about how I would implement this in an exclusive video only for patrons, which means you can get access for as low as $1.50 a month. You do not have to be in my teacher tribe to see my lesson planning videos. But teachers, if you're low on cash, sign up for $15 a month for the first month, and then email me. There's information on Patreon in the teacher trust benefits section. Okay, check it out. Sign up for the first $15 a month, and then we can work something out. I want you to have access to critical curriculum. I'm not here to squeeze teachers. So people who aren't teachers, hey, come support my work so I can get this critical stuff out to more teachers. So teacher friends, share my Patreon page, share these videos. I do Colors of Critical in the morning, and that's critical thinking skills for anybody. So not just this fun teach time in the afternoon for you. I also do lessons for everybody, adults like us, but not cool like us because we're teachers. We're extra special, so we get this extra special show. But sign up, $1.50 a month, get access to these videos. It's going to be awesome. We're going to lesson plan together. And I'm probably going to stumble over the first few because these are going to be kind of hard, I think, at first. They were hard for me to pull out of theory books. I spent a lot of time coming up and writing them out from theory. But now it's going to be another pull to try and pull lessons out of this as a whole nother step. So anyway, it won't be pretty at first, probably, and I'll need your help. So please join the Teacher Trust, collaborate on this curriculum, help me out in my knowledge gardens below. Oh man, this is going to be a really cool pedagogical public project. Yeah. End your week with that kind of excitement. You ride this wave. Oh yeah. Share with your friends. We're doing cool stuff over here with Miss Adventure in the Classroom. What? Follow me on all your favorite sites. I will see you next week. Be critical out there this weekend, all right? See ya.